Hello. Very great. Thank you for the alerts. Good luck with your meeting, Gray. Hi, Epic Pikachu. How are you? Can I get an audio check, please? I made the very smart decision to eat spicy food for lunch, which was less than an hour ago. So my voice may not be up to par today, but we're gonna see how far we can get since we're at the epilogue now. Turns out we had a surprise witness on our hands, the victim himself, the storyteller. Then again, nothing surprises me anymore. Been sick for a week now, no! Any signs of recovering? The secret behind Labyrinthia, the legendary fire, witches, magic, and finally, Bezella. The veil was just about to be lifted off of these mysteries once and for all. Okay, everyone, it's high time we end this. Let's give Labyrinthia the fresh start it deserves and solve these mysteries. We say as we then go into the epilogue. Alright, cool. But that's okay. Epilogue. The first story. I don't quite know what to say. I'm truly shocked. To see the storyteller again, alive and well. It's been marginally better, but still bad. No, I hope you fully recover soon. Finally managed to catch another one of your streams. Welcome, Marcus. How are you doing? Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate it. We're getting into the epilogue of this game, so if that is a spoiler for you and you don't want to sit in on a spoiler, that is totally okay. But if you're okay with being spoiled, welcome in. This is the Professor Layton versus Ace Attorney game. What you should be saying is case dismissed. True. We've solved the murder. He's not dead. There is no murder anymore. This was unexpected by me too, as I did not plan to appear before you all again. I was convinced that you would all see the last of me at the parade. But this is the trial for your murder! And you are alive. Yeah, see? No one was killed! So let's call this whole thing off and never have witch trials again! Doing good. I've never played these games. I never really intended to, so it's all good. Alright, cool. To give you a brief synopsis, this place that we're in is like a... We think we're in a magical land where there's witches and magic, but we just debunked all of those theories. So we're getting to the end, where we're trying to prove that magic does not exist, witches do not exist, and that this guy, called the Storyteller, is not actually dead. Very, very brief synopsis. Whoa, Maya. Take it easy. We're still in court, remember? But what's the point of this? The Storyteller wasn't killed! Espella would never do anything to harm her dad. Sounds wild? Oh yeah, it is. If only it was as simple as that to end this trial. However, it is not, Miss Faye. But Professor! Search your memory and you will know the reason why. The crime Miss Cantabella is accused of is not just murder. The purpose of the Witches' Court is to sentence the witches for what they are. Isn't that right, Mr. Storyteller? My voice is not working for Layton! My apologies, guys. I fully intend to expose the true identity of Bezella. The charge will change to attempted murder, I guess this is true. Attempted murder, and she's still being tried as the witch. The Great Witch. This would not be possible without you, Mr. Storyteller, on the witness stand. I see. So, you assumed the role of an inquisitor just to lure me here. Spicy food so good yet so bad for your voice. I know, I know. The temptation is too great, though. I must eat it. It's so good. Onlurk, hi, Avery. That as it may, the Inquisition still maintains that Espella Cantabella is the Great Witch Bezella. Dad. It's been a long time, Espella. 4 years, in fact. Must have experienced many hardships, living among the townsfolk. This daughter of mine never fits in with the others, no matter how hard she tries.
No, it wasn't quite like that. There were people who supported me. Aunt Patty was very kind, and the customers who came to our bakery were nice to me.
Happy to hear that. I wanted to watch over you ever since you left for the town.
Since when were you knighted, Layton? Since he defeated all the knights, I guess.
In the end, I failed to do so. I had no idea what was happening to you. I am very sorry, Isabella.
Oh, Dad. You don't need to apologize to me for anything. It's me that owes you an apology. I was trying to hurt you.
It was all my fault, not yours. There is no reason for you to blame yourself.
Dad, I'm happy we got to talk.
Isabella.
You were so busy writing everyone's stories that we stopped talking to each other. Before, it was different. You used to have time for me.
Please forgive me. Why did it have to come to this? Mr. Storyteller, it is time to put everything in order now. Townsfolk and your daughter deserve to know the truth. The truth about yourself and the story.
Daddy issues intensify. It's okay, because she will be burned soon. Surely.
Yes, I suppose it is time I told you the truth. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Storyteller. Let us begin. In this trial, I shall be judged.
You? No, you're a witness, sir.
Wrong. Understood. The witness shall testify. People of Labyrinthia who have gathered in this court, I will now tell you the true story. Many of you will certainly find it hard to believe and difficult to accept. Nevertheless, I ask you to please lend me an ear and listen with open minds. Isabella, my dear daughter, I ask you to do the same too. Let's go. The truth about Labyrinthia.
I guess the storyteller has ultimate authority, yeah. Walks into the court, be like, no, judge me, sir.
Though you know me as the storyteller, I have one more identity. I am the president of Labyrinthia Inc. This whole town is one of Labyrinth's research facilities. It may be hard for you to comprehend. This land is rich in a very special substance, which affects everyone who lives here. This substance enables the manipulation of people's minds, and that is what Labyrinth is researching. This experiment began 10 years ago. The townsfolk all became test subjects.
Human experimentation. Wowee!
I don't understand. What does it all mean? I don't quite understand what I've just heard. I do not blame you. I suppose all the townsfolk are just as confused. Labyrinthia is an artificial town created entirely by me. But of course, as artificial as it may be, it is the reality for those that live here. For the past 10 years, I have been bringing the illusion to life by writing the story.
Many counts of second-degree assault. Pretty sure this is a death sentence. He's cooked.
Burn him! I'm lost for words. It feels as if the whole world has been turned on its head. Your Honor, it is certainly not an easy matter to grasp this new situation at once.
He is cooked, literally.
Regardless, I suggest we hear more of what the witness has to say. Yes, I agree. Let's continue. The defense may begin the interrogation.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's go. Alright, we're gonna press everything!
Hold
it! Oh, Phoenix. This is too much. I don't even know where to start.
Labyrinthia Inc. That is a name I've heard before. It's a global pharmaceutical company with headquarters in England.
Pharmaceutical? If you guys have been tuning into me and Gray's 999 streams.
My memory serves me right. It was founded by Arthur Cantabella. Indeed, that is my true name. Are you familiar with that, Mr. Wright? Sure, yeah, I've, heard of Labyrinthia Inc. Of course. Labyrinthia Inc. is known for developing a completely harmless anesthetic about 20 years ago. Oh great, it's big pharma, yeah? It is now widely used in hospitals all around the world. The company is also working on various other plant-derived sedatives, revolutionizing medicine. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your vast knowledge, Mr. Layton. Objection! That's irrelevant. That fact is just based on the real world we're from, not Labyrinthia. The real world, Mr. Wright. Then what would you call the world we are in now? Do you think this is a fantasy? No, that's not quite what I meant. Mr. Wright, I do not mean to be so rude as to presume I know what thoughts are running through your head. However, Labyrinthia is certainly not a place within a book or in the past. Labyrinthia is a part of the world we know. Huh? What? But how could a town like this exist in the real world? Do you think it's impossible? Why would that be? Are you saying that everyone would know about an unusual town like this if it existed? It's something like that. Anyway, it would be on a map at least. This guy has enough money to hide places. No, I'm afraid that cannot be so. Huh? This town is not marked on any map. It doesn't officially exist. What do you mean? The answer is quite simple. Hold it! This whole town is a research facility. Yes, this whole area is private property of Labyrinthia Inc. Even more secretive than Area 51, true. So, they all own this land then. That is why Labyrinthia is not marked on any map, and people from the outside cannot enter. They have taken measures to ensure that this town is not noticed by local residents. Uh-oh, my OBS disconnected. No! What is going on? Are we back? Hello? They're protecting Labyrinthia at all costs, yeah. Man, okay, that was something. Certainly something. Are we back? Can you guys hear me? Can you see things? Are we good? I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Because my Wi-Fi was fine. Stupid OBS. Just wait and see if we're back. Ah! Can't see stream. Just refresh it, it seems to be working now? Okay. I think there's an ad running right now. Let me know. I don't like that it says pre-roll off, but they still make me run ad. Grrr. Grrr. Oh yeah, we're gonna wait for the ad to finish running just in case. Yeah, welcome back, Argus. What kind of tea do you have? Got a Red Bull ad, oh. So we got 10 seconds left for the ad. Yippee! I love ads. Alright, are you guys back? No more ad? Red Bull ad. They heard that you were getting tea and they were like, what about this drink instead? Now, what kind of tea do you have, Arcus? We back. Alright, let's go. Consider the fact that magic is supposed to exist in this town. Perhaps special mechanisms that were used to create magic also serve to conceal Labyrinthia. Yay, we're back! Yippee! Oh, great. Ooh, nice. And thank you guys for your patience. Tech issues, grrr. Thanks, Dream Elements. There are limits to what magic the Shades are capable of producing on their own, after all. Gotta hide from the government ninjas, real. They really don't want us to expose Labyrinthia. That is the case indeed. The magic in this town has been made feasible owing to the latest technology. Technology? Tricks? I cannot believe this. However, there is one question. There is no industry in Labyrinthia. How do you obtain necessary commodities? Very observant, aren't you? All commodities are regularly shipped in by sea. A young man once made his way out here on a freighter and took a spell out of the town. That was Carmine Accidenti, a friend of mine. I see. But is something on this scale really possible? As you might suspect, it would be beyond the power of Labyrinthia Inc. to keep a facility this size a secret for so long. Labyrinthia is a project co-funded by the British government. What? It's a government project? But what would be their stake in this? It is all because of my beliefs. His beliefs? You were right! You called it! Ah, by the way. Yes, Your Honor. What is a research facility? I've never heard of anything like that before. Ah yes, that was careless of me. Naturally, you wouldn't know what it means. How should I explain? This whole town is my creation. Ah, that's what it was about. In other words, it is all your story. That makes it clear. Swing and a miss, Your Honor. Getting back to the topic. There is an important reason why we have chosen to build such a facility here. We're in the British equivalent of Area 51? Real! We're the aliens. I guess they have witches instead of aliens. Ha! Alright. A special substance? What does it actually do? This area has been isolated since ancient times, developing its own unique culture. There are underground ruins on the verge of the town. We found writings there, presumably left by the natives of this land. A bell that was supposed to be there was missing. So you have seen the ruins. I suspected that you would find them. Then perhaps you have also noticed that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition. Peculiar condition, you say? I can't just sit here quietly like a patient old man when you're saying such things. Just what kind of condition is it? You have every right to know. This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound of a certain metal being struck. Metal? What kind of metal? Pure silver. And so, there is not a single object made of silver in Labyrinthia. Now that I think of it, that's true. Just imagine what a disaster a fancy dinner would be if everyone fainted whenever they used silver cutlery. This condition is an integral part of magic. How so? All inhabitants of Eldritch Woods carry small silver bells. I see now. The Shades ring the bells when they need to create the illusion of magic. Everyone present falls unconscious, and the Shades set to their work. Oh, look where that Shade's hand was! So that's the secret of the time-stealing magic Darklaw told us about. Now that they mention it. Yeah, big brain of you to drop it. Kira had a small bell with her when we saw her back at the marketplace. We have been researching this condition at Labyrinthia Inc. Finally, we discovered its cause. It was the groundwater. Water caused it. The groundwater contains a certain unique substance found in the soil in this area. So if you drink that water, you get this silver allergy thing? But of course we've been drinking it. It's impossible to live without water. Of course, that is why everyone who lives here has that condition. Oh dear. Needn't worry, this condition is harmless, especially as silver is unknown to the townsfolk. Something's still not quite right, though. If the sound of silver bells makes people pass out, why don't the Shades pass out too? Although the effect of the substance in the groundwater is powerful, it doesn't last long. The condition will vanish after a day or so without drinking that water. That's convenient. That substance's effects aren't limited to humans. It can also affect plants to a great extent. Plants are affected by it? Our research was focused on the plants rather than humans. And that makes it all better, I'm sure. Okay. That sounds really scary. Just what is this about? The substance enters the groundwater, affecting organisms that consume it. People who drink it daily acquire that odd condition. They fall unconscious upon hearing the sound of silver metal. Yes, although the substance in the groundwater also has a tremendous effect on plants. The plants pass out. You just see plants immediately wilt, and then they perk up again in like 5 minutes. They just take a nap. Wildflowers in this area contain a certain poison. Upon my beard! Poison! This poison doesn't harm the body. It has the effect of manipulating the mind. So it brainwashes people. I've been writing the story for 10 years. The title of the story is Historia Labyrinthia. Ink I used to write it was made from those plants. Oh, Nick! Do you remember how funny the ink smelled? That was the gas released when the ink evaporates, and that is where the trick is. What? Those that inhale the gas become extremely susceptible to suggestion. You mean brainwashing? Mass poisoning, that's definitely a death sentence. Even if it's just brainwashing, I feel like it's still messed up. They will believe anything they are told or anything they read, however strange or unrealistic. It'll be imprinted into their minds as the truth. So that was the true purpose of the parades. Mass brainwashing. Pages of the story, written in that special ink, were regularly distributed among the townspeople. It was done so that everyone would be in a state of hypnosis. Indeed. The creation of a fully controlled town where the inhabitants subject to long-term hypnosis. That was one of the topics of our research. Then, the story that's written in the Historia Labyrinthia. We'd call it self-fulfilling prophecy, realized through the shade's work and the hypnotic effect of the ink vapors. Is that how it was all this time? Labrellum used hypnosis to control all these people. I can't believe that the government was supporting that. Real? That's messed up. All the people subjected to this experiment have been living here all this time? No, we started with just a few people, gradually getting more and more. I must say that I'm afraid of what the answer to the question might be, but where did these people come from? This has to be a crime against humanity, yeah. You haven't resorted to abduction by any chance, have you? Of course not. Every test subject signed a contract with Labrellum. A contract to have their memories erased and be used like pawns in a story? The current inhabitants of this town have one thing in common. They were all dissatisfied with their lives and wanted to start anew, forgetting about their mistakes, forsaking unwanted identities. There are more people like that out there than you might think. They have all agreed to participate in our research. But that's insane. It's not as unreasonable as you suggest. We give them a new identity, a chance to start their life again. In return, they subject themselves to hypnosis and live in this town as our test subjects. In order for this project to be possible, we suppress their memories of the past, including the memory of signing the contract. And then you create some of them identities like Nidal, who wants to be a knight so bad, but he can't, so he resorts to selling potatoes. That seems a little mean. So ultimately, they are not aware of what is going on. I couldn't agree more. I've got no idea what's going on. Let me make this clear, Mr. Wright. We do not erase their memories. We suppress them. They will regain their memories of life before Labyrinthia once their contract is over. So, this place was uninhabited before you started this research 10 years ago? They had something personal against Nidal. Feels bad. And you've managed to keep everyone in a state of hypnosis for 10 years straight? Well, if that excuses their liability, they technically have not committed any crimes. That is true. If all the people agreed to this, then I guess it's okay. But that's crazy. I mean, I would understand if, like, maybe they were, like, a criminal and they wanted to, like, start over. Like, they're like, oh, I want to change, but people won't change their opinions of me. So I want, you know, I want to start anew. So they'll sign the contract and come here. But, like, under normal circumstances? And, like, some of these people are children! Like, Cecil and Petal are, like, 5! Did they sign Are they even allowed to sign contracts? Are children allowed to sign contracts? I don't think they are. I guess if they're 5, though, maybe they were born here, but still. Can you really hypnotize someone for that long? I mean, 10 years is one heck of a long time. It was achieved through the distribution of the story during parades. The ink vapors have a powerful effect, but it wouldn't last 10 years, of course. With each parade, the effect was renewed. That is why the parades took place at regular intervals. That was the true purpose of that event. I have been born and raised here. It was a poor, small town with no industry to speak of, and had fallen behind the times. They can't legally enter into a contract. Yeah, I guess, yeah, like, if they're born here, though, like, if they were born here, then they're subject to the brainwashing without having signed the contract. Is that messed up? Because, like, their parents consented to it, but that doesn't mean they did. But does that work? Do children have rights? Ever since I was a child, I had one friend that was especially close to me. He was a bright boy, curious about the world. His name was Newton Belduke. Sir Newton Belduke. Why is he so long? My man's has been stretched. No rights, yippee. Not for the children. The alchemist. So they were childhood friends. The plot thickens. I've always been interested in the unique natural features of this land. There was really nothing here, but to us, this area was an exciting place worth exploring. And one day, we made an astonishing discovery on the outskirts of the town. We stumbled upon the entrance to the underground caverns leading to the colossal ruins. Whoa, look at that, Newton! This is so amazing! And this strange writing, I've never seen anything like it before. Found ancient writings in the ruins. Newton managed to decode some of them. According to our findings, a highly advanced culture had existed on the land where our little town was built. Some great calamity had befallen the natives and they migrated elsewhere. They believed the plants and water in that area were cursed by an entity they called the Great Witch Bezella. The natives sealed the curse within the ruins and left in search of a new home. That is all we managed to decipher. Bezella's curse? It was sealed in the ruins, you say? Would that be the Bell of Ruin? The Bell. Ruin. Oh, that's the bell from the bell tower. I wonder why it's got an ominous name like that. Regrettably, we couldn't get any further information from the writings at the time. Needless to say, Newton and I were very excited by the discovery. Oh, wow, Cursed Town! That's awesome! I knew it! This place is special. It has some kind of mysterious power. If we could find out what that is, our humble town would become famous. You know what? I'm going to do that. I will unravel the mystery of this place. So, Newton began studying the indigenous plants and substances dissolved in the groundwater. On the other hand, I studied economics and management at a university in London. I dreamed of bringing prosperity to this poor, forgotten town. I wanted to change it for the better with my own hands. There's a lot of things wrong here. There are likely provisions of the contract covering children, though. They're not stupid. Yeah, that's true. Did he say unravel? Oh, she had that. Meanwhile, Newton had succeeded at extracting a new anesthetic from the local plants. Was that the anesthetic which led to the foundation of Labyrinthia? Yes, it was a huge success for Labyrinthia Inc., and before we knew it, we were making a fortune. We wanted the whole world to hear about our hometown. Alas, fate was not kind to us, as we never realized that dream. Everyone in our town had died. All the townspeople had perished. Huh? Just what on earth happened to them? That does not matter anymore. We purchased the environs of our town. The mountains, the lake, the plains, everything. Then, 10 years ago, having received financial support from the government, we started Project Labyrinthia. It was much smaller in the beginning. It started as no more than a village. Over the course of 10 years, it slowly grew into a town. The population increased as well. More people were signing the contract with Labyrinthia, slowly increasing the number of inhabitants, correct? They would sign the contract, be hypnotized and assigned a role, and then be introduced to the world of the story. I've spoken at length. Thank you for patiently listening to my tale. Rizella is the name of a witch from an ancient legend that we read about in the ruins. It is a fictional character. She does not exist. But then, magic and witches... Magic is just an illusion, and there are no witches. Alright, so it was all fake. That doesn't make it much better. Why did you write a story where people get killed with magic and witches are thrown into the fire? You could have made it a peaceful, pleasant world where everyone would be happy. No, that was not possible. But why? Everyone finding out their lives have been a lie for 10 years. Real? This is a research facility, after all. We're researching ways to completely control human beings. Well, okay, dude. Test subjects need to be exposed to extreme situations, so we decided on a fantasy setting. We wouldn't have gotten funding from the government otherwise. In other words, we're running a business. But just what instructions do you give to the people you hypnotize? You don't give each of them a full set of memories of their whole fictional life, do you? No, it's much more simple than that. We only give them 2 pieces of information. The first one, that they were born in this town, and the second was their new occupation. Then they fill the gaps themselves without being aware of it. The human mind requires a consistent story of one's life. Which means, of course, that no Labyrinthian has memories from earlier than 10 years ago. Profit, that's why. Money! I am a businessman. No one has any memories before they came to Labyrinthia. What? What are you saying? That's all one big lie! I am who I am! But can you remember your childhood? I can't. That's true! I can't remember! Even my parents! No way! I can't recall my own mother's face! As you can hear, no one remembers their real past. There are no exceptions. Bet! Huh? Wait a second. No exceptions? I smell a contradiction here! Ah, it seems Mr. Wright too has noticed it now. What are you talking about, Layton? Mr. Cantabella, you just testified that not a single citizen of this town remembers anything from more than 10 years ago. Yes, as that is the truth. Now that's a strange assertion, especially coming from you. What? What do you mean? There's one person in this town who remembers what happened more than 10 years ago. That cannot be. It is impossible. They must be merely imagining things now. Mr. Wright, please enlighten us all. Who is the person that remembers their past? I know, but I'm scared, so we're gonna save state.
Take that!
Aha! Precisely, Mr. Wright. That person is none other than Espella Cantabella. What? That is impossible!
It's true, Dad. I remember it clearly, as if it happened yesterday. The legendary fire.
No! That is impossible! That is just your imagination, Espella.
No, it's not! I couldn't remember it before, but it all came back to me because I'm Bezella.
In save states we trust. I love save state. No, no, no! Espella, there are no witches. That fire, it was just a bad dream. Sir, the Inquisition would like to call Espella Cantabella to testify. What? Regardless of whether Miss Cantabella is Bezella or not. Her memories may contain valuable clues. Yes, that may be so. No, wait! I don't agree to this. This trial is over, Your Honor.
Objection.
No, it ain't. You're not the boss. You seem to be forgetting something, Mr. Cantabella. Your story has ended. You are no longer in control. You are merely one of the characters. And this is also why we will not cease seeking the truth until we find it. Urgh. Defense, what is your opinion on this? Espella keeps insisting that she's the witch Bezella. As her attorney, I should refuse to let her speak to the court. But what's really important now is finding the truth, just as Layton said. You have no power here, exactly. There's only one way to proceed with this trial. And that is by questioning Miss Cantabella about her memories. In that case, the court summons Espella Cantabella as a witness. Attendants, bring the accused to the witness stand. Let's go! Now, witness, testify about your memories of the legendary fire.
Yes, my lord.
The legendary fire.
I was just a little girl then. It happened during the annual fire festival. Everyone was gathered in the town square for the fire festival, and I was watching them from the bell tower. The great witch Bezella awoke within me and brought calamity upon the town. An enormous fire dragon appeared. I was trembling with fear, terrified by what I had summoned.
Witness, what you have told us wasn't a bad dream or a fairy tale, but what you actually experienced?
Yes, it was, like I've already said. I remember it very clearly. The heat from the fire, the smell of smoke.
Spella, what are you talking about? The defense may cross-examine the witness. Thank you, Your Honor. Is there really a huge fire that destroyed the town? And what about Bezella? Is she even real? The answers are in Espella's testimony. I think the fire is real enough. We saw evidence of it. It burned the Great Archive, guys.
Hold it!
Do you remember what age you were then?
I'm not quite sure, but I think I was 6 or 7.
How old is she now? They don't have the... They don't have the age. How old are you now? Oh, thank you, Layton.
I'm 18 years old.
That means those events did take place more than 10 years ago. It's very odd that you have memories that old, but perhaps you're mistaken about your age at the time.
Objection.
Your Honor, no one besides Espella has witnessed the legendary fire, which would mean that the incident occurred before Labyrinthia was created over 10 years ago. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. That doesn't make sense at all. How many times do I need to tell you that there are no witches, no magic? The legendary fire is just a story. This interrogation serves no purpose. Then why you mad, bro? Calm down. Mr. Cantabella, the court asks you to be quiet during another witness's testimony unless you are asked to speak. Urgh.
Hold it!
Could you tell us a little more about this fire festival you were watching?
Yes, it seems to be an ancient custom in this area. The townspeople make a fire offering to the great witch Bezella so that she will not bring misfortunes upon them. A great fire is lit in the middle of the town square. The festival lasts all night long.
That is correct. The festival takes place once every year. It is quite magnificent, with all the townsfolk assembled in the square. Unless it is a counterfeit memory you imprinted in our minds by you. No, the festival has been held here since before I was born. It appears to be a very old custom indeed. By the way, why were you in the bell tower in the first place?
Huh?
You know, you said everyone was at the town square. Why weren't you there?
I can't remember. I probably went there because Bezella awoke within me.
Despite having vivid memories of the fire, you do not remember much of anything else that occurred at the time?
Yes, I was at the top of the bell tower, looking down at the people in the town square. Someone was with me there. Ah, that's right. It was Eve.
Eve. Her black cat, huh? I didn't think Eve was that old. Hmm?
Well then.
Kitty! Kitty cat.
Hold it.
Do you remember casting a spell?
I cannot remember.
Aha!
Hang on.
You look upset, Mr. Cantabella. Pardon me. Did you want something? I'd like to know what you think about Espella's last statement. My opinion about all this has not changed since last time. It is all just a dream. Listen to me, Espella. You are not Bizella. There was no legendary fire.
Dad, you have no idea how much I want to believe you, but I just can't. I remember what I saw and how it felt. The heat, the smoke.
Magic does not exist. It belongs in fairy tales. There are no fire dragons either. Espella seems certain that she saw a fire dragon at the time. However, as long as we do not have any evidence to support or disprove this claim, we can't make any progress. Do I have any relevant evidence? Anything that could demonstrate that the fire dragon Espella saw as a child was real? Oh, nope. Nope, I got nothing. I don't think there's anything I can use. I can understand your choice to be cautious with your judgment, Mr. Wright. However, I must remind you that the only way to discover the whole truth is to bring to light the true nature of the dragon witnessed by the accused. I guess he has a point there. Maybe I overlooked some clues in the testimony. Let's arm ourselves to the teeth with evidence and give it another shot. Alright, but first we need more info. Time to do some pressing. Witness, continue your testimony.
Yes, my lord.
Okay, well, I'm gonna press this again and just speed through it since the storyteller disturbed me last time. No one cares, sir.
But the town, perishing in the flames so fast, is engraved in my memory.
Must be a very harrowing memory.
I think that whenever Bizella takes over my body, my consciousness drifts away. But I'm sure of it. There's no mistake about me being Bizella.
What makes you so certain about it?
Because Eve has always been with me.
You mean the black cat? How is that relevant? According to the legend of Bizella, she is always accompanied by a black cat. That small furry animal is actually her minion. In the stories, that is.
Eve was there with me. I'm sure she was. And I saw the town engulfed in flames.
These memories are causing her a lot of pain.
Espella, hang in there.
Okay.
Hold it.
Can you tell me more about that fire dragon?
That monstrous image is still so vivid. It looked just like the one that attacked Dad this evening. I've done something terrible again.
Then you are sure that the fire dragon you saw more than 10 years ago and the one you summoned this evening were exactly the same?
Yes, they were definitely the same.
Are you going to say something?
Hang on.
Okay. Is something wrong, Mr. Cantabella? It's impossible. There's no such thing as magic.
You never believe me, Dad. I don't know why you have to be like this. There was a time when things were different.
Espella, what are you saying? Look at them. It's like a common argument between a teenager and a parent. Mr. Cantabella created this town. He knows better than anyone else that there's no magic here. Miss Cantabella.
Yes?
Do you mind giving us more details of what you saw?
Could I borrow a sheet of parchment and a pencil? I think it'll be better if I draw it.
Request shall be granted. Bring parchment and a pencil for the witness immediately. Artiste!
This is it. This is the fire dragon that I saw that night. I only caught a glimpse of it, but it was real.
Must say, it does closely resemble the supposedly magical creature we witnessed this evening. It does indeed. This drawing shall be added to the evidence. This is a farce! What happened over a decade ago? Was the town really destroyed by a fire dragon? Discovering the truth about the dragon shall be our next objective. Witness, continue the testimony.
Yes, my lord.
Okay. Everyone gathered. I was watching them. The Great Witch Bazilla and brought calamity. An enormous fire dragon appeared. Okay, well. Well?
Hang on!
You look upset, Mr. Cantabella. Ah, pardon me. Did you want something? I'd like to know what you think about Ispella's last statement. My opinion about all of this has not changed since last time. It is all just a dream. Blah blah blah, we've done this, blah 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 blah. As long as we do not have any evidence to support or disprove this claim, we cannot make any progress. Cool. There's no dragon here. There is no dragon here either. Ah! Vigilante's report, footprints. There are no dragons here. That is not a dragon either. What am I supposed to do with this? Okay, well. Do I have any relevant evidence? Anything that could demonstrate? I mean, yeah, she drew it. I have evidence. Your Honor. What is it, Defender? The defense will present evidence. Evidence? I suppose you mean evidence that will prove that my daughter's memories of the dragon amount to nothing more than a wild imagination. On the contrary, I'm pretty positive Isabella did see the dragon. What? I thought you had more sense in you. Well, well, aren't we all curious about what the defense has got to show us? Present evidence that proves a dragon appeared in the town over 10 years ago. I mean, sure. It is, of course, Ispella's drawing of the dragon. It's impossible to draw a dragon with so much detail unless you've actually seen it. Indeed. It looks very much like the fire dragon we saw this evening. It cannot be a mere coincidence. You can't possibly use that drawing as evidence. And why not? Because she could have just drawn the dragon from this evening.
Dad, why don't you believe me? I saw that dragon when I was little.
This town is my creation. I know everything about it. And I assure you there is no magic. Oh gosh, my OBS disconnected again? Why? Am I back? Hello? My OBS hates me! Why does it hate me? Why? Why? We're back, okay. If there is anyone who can tell you what's possible and what is not, it is me, the creator of Labyrinthia. Is now a good time to panic? Literally, yes. I am going to have a fit. Your overconfidence has clouded your judgment and is preventing you from seeing the truth. What do you mean? In order to see what is really there, you need to reject biased assumptions and keep an open mind. You are overlooking certain facts precisely because you are the creator of this town. It's nothing short of insanity. Magic does not exist, and yet Isabella says she saw a fire dragon. It seems like a contradiction, but perhaps it is not. Mr. Wright. Yes? The solution to this mystery is out there. We just need to find it. Do you suppose you know where it is? Magic does not exist. Isabella saw a fire dragon. Where is the evidence that bridges the gap between the two? In the belfry? Question mark? There's only one way to explain this contradiction. Isabella somehow saw the dragon, but it wasn't a magical creature. Will you tell us just what it is? What it was? That event took place over 10 years ago. What she saw then should still be in the place where she was at the time. It's still there. Yes, Your Honor. And that place is the Belfry. It's in the Belfry. Let's go to the Belfry! 10 years ago. The witness was standing somewhere around here when she saw a fire dragon. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Layton.
However, what was it that you actually saw then? Let us see if we can find the answer to that question. Why not? Go ahead and try. But I warned you that it is futile. You will find nothing here.
Well, it happened a long time ago. Whatever she saw might not be there anymore. And if we want to see exactly what she saw at the time, we'll need to set the whole town on fire. Want me to go get matches?
Maya! I may be an attorney, but even I couldn't clear you of the charges if you actually committed such a crime, Maya. I will pretend I did not hear that. Shall we begin?
Maya! Maya's crazy.
Just look for the fire dragon. We can see the whole town from here. Look in every direction for something that would resemble Miss Cantabella's drawing.
That's literally her.
Aha!
There's a thingy, but that's not a dragon. Dragon!
Take that!
Espella, can you have a look at this? It looks like the dragon was hiding in here after all.
Oh! This is... Hey! That's identical to the one Espella drew! But, it's not the fire dragon. The fire dragon was a creature made of flames. It was so big it could swallow this whole tower. This is just some tiny fretwork.
I think we can consider this mystery solved. I suggest we all head back to the court. I will explain everything there. Is that all right with you, Mr. Cantabella?
What's gotten into Mr. Cantabella? He looks paler than you do with the cold.
I have no idea. Let's follow the others back to the courtroom. Let's go.
I'm in. Hi, Gray. How are you? How was your meeting?
The Inquisition's investigation seems to have yielded some unexpected results. But, can someone explain them to me? Your Honor, the Inquisition will interpret the results of its investigation.
Boring, I learned nothing new. No, that is pain.
Witness, you said you were about 6 years old at the time of that incident.
Yes, that's right.
Did you see the moment the dragon appeared above the town?
Huh? No, I don't remember. I remember seeing it at some point. It was like a flash. The town was ablaze and this fiery beast was hovering above it.
Then, when you noticed the dragon, the town was already engulfed by flames.
Yes.
That information completes the picture. Discord updated? It did! Discord updated and now it's like, I get pop-ups every time I open a game that's like, hey, you can use Discord overlay, and it's really annoying. Miss Cantabella's statement has offered me an insight to the true story of the fire dragon. It's ugly, Pain. 10 years ago. Miss Cantabella was in the belfry, unconscious. What events led to this? Perhaps we will discover that in due course. When she awoke, the whole town was on fire. Having inhaled much smoke, she was still dazed. She was only vaguely aware of her surroundings when she looked up, alarmed by the scorching heat. Unable to stand, she was on her knees. Then, she saw something that she would remember her whole life. She saw a terrifying fire dragon attacking the town. She saw it through the fretwork in the balustrade. The shape of the dragon against a backdrop of the town being swallowed up by flames became imprinted in her memory. It's the truth about the fire dragon. This is what I have deduced.
It wasn't a monster?
Miss Cantabella, the illustration you have drawn for us bears an uncanny resemblance to the fretwork in the belfry. You saw the dragon when you were confused, possibly mildly asphyxiated from the smoke. There's no magic and no magical beast. Believed a stranger, but not your father. That is so typical of teenagers. You should have listened to me. Now that all the mysteries have been unraveled, can we not end this trial and go home?
Objection.
Rude indeed, sir. As much as we'd all like to, I'm afraid that it's still a bit too early for that. What else do you want from us? There's just one more problem I'd like to solve tonight. One more? What on earth could it be? Miss Cantabella, we've ascertained that you were in the belfry when you saw the dragon. However, that creates a new question. How did you get there?
Oh, I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, neither have I. Oh! We do not leave until Professor Layton says we can leave. Do not leave class early. He did not say you were dismissed. As expected of an ace attorney, Mr. Wright seems to have noticed the problem too at last. In order to access the belfry, you need to use the bell tower mechanism. The mechanism can only be set in motion with the pendants. The bell has not rung, Real. He said the thing! Ace attorney, let's go! Indeed. Miss Cantabella, did you have your pendant with you at the time?
Yes, I think I did. I always had it with me. But why did I have that pendant? I can't remember it at all.
The pendant is not just for show, it's the key to the belfry. Why was she carrying it around? You must also not forget that one pendant does not suffice to operate the contraption. 2 of them are required.
2 pendants.
Miss Cantabella, are you certain that you were alone in the belfry?
No, I wasn't alone. I was there with a friend.
What friend? Cat!
Eve, where did you go off to?
The friend you mentioned. Was it this cat?
Yes, she's my best friend.
Kitty!
We've always been together. Without Eve, I would have been so lonely.
The kitty's always appearing out of nowhere to keep us fellow company.
Of course she does. After all, Bazzella's always accompanied by a black cat.
Kitty, so cute. What you saw from the bell tower when you were little was so terrifying that even an adult would have been scarred for life. The town burned in front of your eyes. You thought you saw a fire dragon. You see, your memories have been twisted by the horrors you saw.
What do you mean?
The dragon you saw wasn't real, and I suspect that the friend who was with you in the bell tower might not have been that cat.
No, it was her. It was Eve, my only friend.
Miss Cantabella, the pendant needed to access the belfry is too large for a cat. Are you following? Eve was with you. It would have been impossible for you to enter the belfry.
Ah!
Wait! Inquisitor, where is all this going?
She's gonna need so much counseling, true.
You have no right to tamper with my daughter's memories. You are right, of course. However, neither do you. Nor should you attempt to cover up the truth. Ugh.
No, you're wrong. Eve was my only friend.
Think about that day again, Miss Cantabella. You went to the top of that bell tower with a friend who also had a pendant. Just thought of something? What did you think of? Well then, why don't we have the defense present some evidence? Can you prove that someone was with Miss Cantabella in the belfry that day? If so, I'd very much like to see the evidence. What? Why me? It was the professor's idea.
True.
I have nothing on the legendary fire. Why ask me for proof? Right. I suppose you wouldn't have any proof. Not one of us remembers that incident. I've had enough of this, Your Honor. You have no grounds to continue this trial. Well, we appear to have reached a dead end. There is nothing else for us to do.
Objection.
You did not ask the professor. Sir. Please hold on, Your Honor. Oh, what is this all of a sudden? Inquisitor Layton, The defense does not have the necessary evidence, but someone else does. They're so done with him, yeah. What do you mean? This time, the Inquisition will present its evidence. The Inquisition will present? Seriously? You son of a witch! This is what you wanted from the very start, isn't it?
Poor Barnum. He's gonna be so confused because he has no idea about any of this. That's so true! Wait, he's stuck in prison! Oh no, he's missed everything.
Well, in that case, the Inquisition shall present evidence that somebody was with Miss Cantabella in the bell tower when she saw the fire dragon. 2 pendants!
Have a look.
Have a look!
This is the proof. This photograph shows Miss Cantabella with a friend. Golly, this is the finest illustration I have ever seen.
No! I like the court illustrator! Literally everyone is in on it but him now. Yeah, real. And thank you so much for dropping by, Arcus. I really appreciate it. Good luck with whatever you're doing.
Look at this photograph! Have a look! It is a photograph. It looks as if it were a reflection of the real world on paper. Nickelback. Tell me, who created this exquisite work of art? Well, Your Honor, I understand you are fascinated, but let us focus on what this picture shows. This picture was found in the Storyteller's tower. Mr. Cantabella, we have taken the liberty of borrowing it for this trial. It's enough to look away for a second and you already caused trouble.
Professor? Aren't photographs against the rules? I mean, this is supposed to be a medieval setting.
Meh, who cares? What is important now is helping Miss Cantabella to grasp the truth. And in this case, the end justifies the means.
Oh, the references! Oh, the references!
Please take a close look at the 2 girls in this picture. Each of them is wearing a pendant.
The end justifies the means!
Guys, this is a reference. Well, obviously, you know, that's like a quote. But, in the Ace Attorney games,
There's a man! There's a man who says this very often. And we will get to it eventually. But, just know, if you hear this phrase, now you know. Layton, no!
each of them is wearing a pendant. Why, that's so! These are the Belfry contraption pendants. We know that one of these girls is Miss Cantabella.
Layton breaking the 4th wall and/or immersion. He's powerful.
But then, who is the other girl? Accused. Do you have any idea?
Guys, can we not tell just by looking? Hello? She hasn't changed that much, guys.
Espella, are you okay?
It doesn't look like she is. It's me. And the other girl is... I don't know. Ah!
Espella! Your Honor, stop this trial! Stop it right now! Can't you see you're driving Espella into insanity?
Objection.
No, she's just remembering things. Chill. It's just the opposite, Mr. Cantabella. If we turn away from the truth now, Espella will close herself to the world forever. Grr. Mr. Wright. Yes? You know who it is, don't you? You know the identity of the other girl in this picture.
My whole life has been a lie! I have more than one friend!
Is that so? The defense knows that. Tell us all who this other girl is.
Take that!
Beauty. I'm thinking it's High Inquisitor Darklaw. High Inquisitor Darklaw? I cannot say I didn't have the slight suspicions about her, but oh my. Miss Cantabella, what do you say? Do you now remember the girl next to you in this picture?
I was with Lady Darklaw.
This is crazy! What are you basing this preposterous claim on? But Mr. Cantabella, this girl closely resembles the High Inquisitor. Resembles? That's just your personal opinion. It's meaningless in a court of law.
Objection.
Sir, if you want evidence, I've got it. What? No, this is Sparta! The definitive proof that the girl in the picture is High Inquisitor Darklaw is...
Take that!
And this is the proof it was the High Inquisitor. The pendant needed for the contraption in the bell tower. I have Miss Darklaw's testimony here. She said this pendant was hers. And so... the other girl in the picture is definitely Miss Darklaw.
Is it? Is it really?
Meow. Kitty cat.
Eve, where are you going?
Hey, yo! When did you get there? If the cat starts talking... No. I was expecting you, Miss Darklaw. I see I was not mistaken about you. I trusted in your ability to get this far. I, Inquisitor Darklaw! Just where did you appear from? Does your memory not serve you well, Your Honor? You know what I am. I can disappear at will anytime I wish to. So, Storyteller, everything has worked out just as you had written, O revered creator of Labyrinthia. Layton could risk Darklaw was all I would think seeing them stand together. He could, I believe. I believe Layton can riz anybody. Darklaw.
Lady Darklaw.
She moved. They're standing so far away from each other. Miss Darklaw, did you enter the Belfry with Miss Cantabella when you were little? Yes, I did. Then you have memories of events from before 10 years ago? I certainly do. Are we surprised? No. Order! Order! Order in the court!
Lady Darklaw, you were with me?
Your memories have been suppressed. By that man. Exposed?
But I was with Eve.
Eve, huh? Eve the black cat?
Yes, she's always been my dear friend. She was by my side on that day, too.
What a bizarre coincidence. Darklaw isn't my real name. What? Then your real name is... Called out, indeed. It's Eve. What? What?
You're... Eve?
Furry! I mean, she does have the cat ears. And the claws. Cat!
Eve. Espella. My dear friend. Eve. It can't be. That flashback. Was it real?
Darklaw, why are you doing this? Are you trying to undo everything I have accomplished in the past 10 years? How do we know that she can't transform into a cat? True, she could turn invisible. Why not turn into a cat? No, you have already ruined everything yourself. What is it that you want? What I want. My aim is to make the truth known, so that everything returns to how it should be. Miss Darklaw, there's a spell for that. Exactly. You tell us what you remember about what happened back then? More than 10 years ago? It would be my pleasure. It was the day of the fire festival. Espella and I went up to the bell tower. The wind was strong that day. When the sun had set, the festival began. It's true that the whole town burned down that day. The fire consumed buildings and people, turning them into ashes. We were the only survivors. We stayed in the belfry while the world below us was being eaten up by hungry flames. And why didn't the bell tower burn? The legendary fire is no fable. It happened here more than 10 years ago.
Objection!
Very morbid. There are no such things as magic and fire dragons, so how could a whole town be destroyed in just one night? I mean, Phoenix, is the fire... If the fire is bad enough and they don't have the proper means to extinguish it... They said the wind was strong too. Yes, that is something I would like to know as well. Even if we assume the celebratory fires got out of control, surely the whole town wouldn't have perished like that. Now it all makes sense. That was the missing piece of the puzzle. What do you mean, Professor? I can imagine now what transpired that night. What happened in the belfry and what caused the legendary fire. We have all the clues we need. The Inquisition had evidence to show us. I'd very much like to see it. What caused the legendary fire? Bell of Ruin!
Have a look.
If it was really dry, it's far easier for things to ignite. Exactly. The cause of the fire is in the belfry. It was the bell. That bell had been made by the natives and later sealed underground. It was called the Bell of Ruin.
Bell of Ruin?
By the way, why does this bell have such an ominous name? Could it be because it's made of pure silver? Pure silver. Exactly. Mr. Cantabella had told us earlier that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition. This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound of a certain metal being struck. Take that! Have a look. Yeah, Layton is a gentleman. He's very polite. Phoenix wants you to look at what he has. It's different. And that metal is pure silver. Yes, and we've been told the condition is brought about by drinking the groundwater. Indeed. That bell was also the reason why the original inhabitants of this area decided to forsake it. It seems that the Bell of Ruin caused a devastating disaster. To those who have gained entry into the sanctum, heed our words. You must not ring the Bell of Ruin. I can't help but wonder what disaster this bell had caused. An enormous bell made of pure silver, and the locals with their peculiar condition. It is not too hard to imagine what happened. It was probably the same calamity as the one that happened over 10 years ago. And that is... well, what disaster happened to this town before Labyrinthia was built? Ah! The legendary fire. Now, let us contemplate the following scenario. What would happen if the Bell of Ruin was sounded during the fire festival?
Oh!
Everyone who heard it would fall unconscious. As it were an annual festival, all the townspeople had assembled in the town square. Oh dear. It created hellfire, yeah, literally. Therefore, the night of the fire festival over 10 years ago, all the residents instantly lost consciousness when the bell was struck.
Oh no!
It had been even just slightly windy that day. The fire lit for the Great Witch Bezella would have gone out of control. They would spread throughout the town with no one left to stop them. Because everyone was unconscious. Exactly. That also includes the 2 girls who were in the belfry. Imagine it still being Tuesday, couldn't be me. Welcome to Wednesday, Kimono. How are you doing? How is the future? Espella and I were the closest to the source of the sound, so it was inevitable. When you recovered consciousness, it was already too late. The town had been swallowed by flames, as if a fire dragon had come to burn it. Yeah, is the 25th gonna be a good day? Wait, no, it's the 25th today. I guess the rest of today? Tiring and just woke up, fair enough. What are your plans for today? Anything fun? Yeah. Is the rest of the 25th a good day? That was a calamity caused by the bell. Calamity? Say here that the cause of the calamity is the Great Witch Bezella. That night, in this very town, Bezella was more than a mythical persona. Work! Ooh, good luck with work.
Bezella. She's losing it again.
Not the text box shaking.
The Bell of Ruin.
You live on the West Coast, it'll be a bad day. No, why?
Miss Ma'am is getting war flashbacks. Real. Yeah, rest in peace, West Coast, I guess. Alright. We're gonna save here for today. My voice is gone.